Have you ever welcomed back to the old Charles across a 1976 Lincoln penny and wondered if it's worth more than just 1 cent? Well, you're in the right place. Today, we'll dive into the history, design, and value of the 1976 United States 1 cent coin. Stick around, because you might be holding a rare and valuable piece in your pocket. Let's take a trip back to 1976, a special year in American history. The United States was celebrating its bicentennial, marking 200 years of independence. While the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins had special bicentennial designs, the Lincoln penny kept its regular design. But that doesn't mean there's nothing special about it. The obverse, front, of the coin features a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner back in 1909. Above Lincoln's head, you'll see the motto, "In God We Trust." The word "Liberty" is on the left, and the date 1976 is on the right. Some pennies may have a small D or S below the date, indicating they were minted in Denver or San Francisco. No letter means it was made in Philadelphia. Now, flip the coin over, and you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, which has been on the reverse, back, of the penny since 1959. This design was created by Frank Gasparo. So, where were these coins made? The 1976 penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Let's look at how many were made. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, 4.6 billion minted. Denver Mint, D mint mark, 4.2 billion minted. That's a massive number of pennies. But does that mean they aren't worth anything? Let's find out. Now, let's talk about the real question. How much is your 1976 penny worth? Most 1976 pennies in everyday use are only worth face value, 1 cent. If you have a worn-out penny from this year, it's not going to be worth much more than its copper content. If you find a penny in brilliant, uncirculated condition, it could be worth around $1 to $5. If you have a proof version from San Francisco, these can be worth $3 to $10 or more, depending on the condition. Some rare 1976 pennies with errors can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Here are a few errors to look for. This happens when the design is stamped twice, causing slight doubling. Some of these errors have sold for over $100. If your penny's design is shifted significantly, it could be worth $50 to $200, depending on the severity of the error. If your penny was accidentally struck on a dimes metal, it could be worth hundreds of dollars. Did you know that pre-1982 pennies contain 95% copper? Since copper prices have risen over the years, the melt value of a 1976 penny is actually around 2 to 3 cents. That means the metal inside is worth more than the face value. It is illegal to melt US pennies for their metal value, so even though they contain valuable copper, you can't melt them down for profit. So, should you hold on to your 1976 pennies? If you have them in circulated condition, they won't make you rich, but they're still great for collectors, especially if they're in high grade or have errors. If you find one in uncirculated condition, put it in a coin holder. If you spot an error coin, get it professionally graded to maximize its value. Collecting old copper pennies is a fun hobby, and they might be worth more in the future. The United States 1 cent coin from 1976 is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, which has been in circulation since 1909. While the year 1976 is famous for the U.S. bicentennial celebration, the Lincoln penny did not receive a special design like the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins. However, it remains a significant piece of American numismatic history. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It replaced the Indian head cent, becoming the first U.S. coin to feature a real person instead of a symbolic figure. The original 1909 design featured Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, front, and wheat stalks on the reverse. In 1959, to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday, the U.S. Mint replaced the wheat design with the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. The 1976 penny followed this standard design and was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The year 1976 marked the 200th anniversary of the United States independence. The U.S. Mint released special bicentennial designs for the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins, featuring patriotic imagery. However, the Lincoln penny retained its standard Lincoln Memorial design, as officials did not consider it necessary to create a commemorative version. Even though the 1976 penny wasn't a special edition, it is still interesting due to its copper composition, high mintage numbers, and occasional error varieties. The 1976 Lincoln penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia Mint ***, no mint mark, produced 4.6 billion coins. Denver Mint, D mint mark, ***, produced 4.2 billion coin. San Francisco Mint, S mint mark, produced 4 million proof coins. Because of these high production numbers, the 1976 penny is common, but certain error coins and high-grade uncirculated pieces can be valuable. The 1976 penny was still made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing 3.11 grams. This was one of the last few years before the U.S. Mint switched to zinc-core pennies in 1982 due to rising copper prices. Today, these pre-1982 pennies have a melt value higher than 1 cent because of their copper content. It represents a historical era when the U.S. was celebrating 200 years of independence. It is one of the last full copper pennies before the switch to cheaper materials. Rare error coins and high-grade examples can be valuable to collectors. While the 1976 Lincoln penny might not have a special bicentennial design, it remains an important part of U.S. coinage history. Whether for its historical significance, metal content, or collectible errors, it's a coin worth keeping an eye on. The value of a 1976 Lincoln penny depends largely on its condition. Coins in better condition are more desirable to collectors, especially if they have rare errors or are in near-perfect condition. Coins are graded based on the Sheldon scale, which ranges from poor, P1, to perfect mint state, MS, 70. Here's how a 1976 penny is classified. Most 1976 pennies found in everyday change will be in circulated condition, meaning they show wear from years of use. These include minor wear, sharper details on Lincoln's face and hair. Worth 2-5 cents. Common circulated 1976 pennies are mostly worth face value, but pre-1982 pennies are still valuable for their copper content, about 2-3 cents in melt value. Uncirculated pennies have never been used, so they maintain their original shine and details. These are graded from MS 60 to MS 70. The San Francisco Mint produced proof pennies in 1976, specially made for collectors. These coins have a deep, mirror-like finish. These coins have a flawless strike and sharp details. Worth $3, $10, but perfect PR 70 examples can be worth $50 plus. Proof coins were never meant for circulation ***, so finding one in regular change is extremely rare. Some letters and numbers appear doubled. Worth